Hello there everybody, and welcome back to Space Engineers.
Energy critical.
We returned to the base as we left it last time, but with a few minor changes. Number one is the incessant clicking of the nanobots. I can't seem to quite get rid of it. It used to be more localized to where they actually were. Now it kind of seems to just happen all the time, constantly. So that's been a lot of fun. Something else that has changed is that the base is very, very, very low on power, down to 36 minutes, and that's with a lot of stuff on. If I have a look here at the base refineries, they're on, and the base assemblers are currently on. So we're actually doing okay. We were down to about 10 minutes last time. I'm just going to turn these things off because, God, I can't. The noise is just, it's the clicking. The clicking just never ends. But today's episode is going to focus on fixing a lot of the problems that we've been having around the base. Things that I've sort of been putting on the back burner while I got the pits sorted out and all the other various bits and pieces. Also, somebody did point out that, rather hilariously, when the drill, the big one, fell from the Sarlacc pit, yes, it unfortunately did kind of excavate a bit of a trench. So it's not exactly a perfectly flat wall, but you know what, that's okay. We'll be dealing with more with that in the times to come. As you can see, the Tardigrades have been put back to work. We are in need of resources, most specifically Cobalt. In fact, we are completely and utterly out of Cobalt, which is a bit of a problem. Welcome to the studio. If you didn't catch the AMA at the end of last episode, go check it out. This is now the studio. As you can see, I've gotten the auto-crafting working again. Izzy's is not dead. I have seen it. It is working. Unfortunately, something broke. Now, it took me a very long time to figure out what, about 3.5 hours worth of testing over the past couple of days, but I think I figured it out. The main problem seemed to be that Izzy's had somehow misplaced its quote-unquote blueprints for the different components. If you don't know, Izzy's has an auto-crafting feature built into it, which allows it to, I guess, scan through the various components you've got and then figure out what you still need. It stores some kind of list, I'm guessing an array of these variables somewhere, and that had been lost by the script somehow. I don't think I deleted anything, but it was unfortunately lost. So what did I do to fix it? I went in and I uninstalled every single mod on Steam by manually deleting the files inside the Steam app folder. It was a bit of a pain to find it, but if you're looking for it, it'll be under your Steam install for this game, Workshop, the Steam ID of the Space Engineers, which is like 244 something. You can find it on Google. We'll put it on screen now. And then you go in there and you just delete everything, resubscribe to your items, and it'll download them again. If using the collection, you can just resubscribe to the mod collection, right? That seemed to fix the worst of the errors. Izzy's then began to recompile. It wasn't compiling prior to that. But unfortunately, that list of auto-crafting mod stuff was very, very short. In fact, it was completely empty. And as you can see, we've only got a few components on there now, despite having, I don't know, dozens of component types in the actual storage. If I go to here, you can see we've got reactor components, for example, in storage, but they're not on the auto-crafting LCD. Normally, this would automatically populate it, but it appears it has still lost its blueprint. So, how do we fix that? Oh my goodness, that was all one breath. How do we fix that? First off, we put down the IIM warnings screen so I can see what's going wrong. Thank you for the people who suggested that. I forgot that that was a feature. And then we build an assembler, and we name that assembler Learn Many! Learn Many with a capital M. What you do then is you go into Learn Many, you go into production, right over here, and you queue up 100 units of whatever you want to teach it exists. In this case, I want to teach this thing that motors are real, they are not a myth, I have seen them, and now what you'll see is that this name will change into Learning Motors, and then eventually it'll make it. You just got to make sure that this is sort of running until the script picks it up. If it isn't, then it won't work, and of course now it's making me a bit concerned that it's not running. Ah, yes, okay, this has happened again, unfortunately. So, this is an error I've been running into again and again and again, every time I reload the game, basically. It says that there's too many errors in script step 5, checking blueprints, right? It's losing the blueprints again. If I go ahead and recompile it, you'll see that everything runs until it gets to step 5 and fails. And again, it's looking for those blueprints, these ones over here, which just simply don't exist. I don't know where it stores them. I don't know where Izzy stores them. I've been trying to look into the code, but that is the error I'm getting. So we got item ID, item blueprint ID, right? No blueprint, no blueprint, no blueprint for things like stone, silicon, ice. So wherever Izzy stores this has been lost. I don't know why. Also, reinstalling all the mods did mean that some things no longer work, including the unlimited speed mod. Don't know what that's about. Oh well, you know what? This playthrough's kind of falling apart a little bit at the seams. I think it's time that we start winding it down, unfortunately. The mod death is a pretty normal one. Something we do have installed, though, is the binoculars mod. That's right, we're adding more to the file. This will be on the Steam Workshop collection. Good luck with it. Something about Izzy's is fundamentally broken, and just simply removing it and reinstalling it hasn't worked. I've done everything from turn it off and on again, delete the programmable block, put it back, all of that, and it's just not working, unfortunately. We can try this one more time. Let's do it together, just so that we can really go through all the steps, right? Let's go ahead, cut that thing off completely, give me a programmable block. So if I go to Izzy's inventory manager, I copy to editor, I check the code, it'll compile. That wasn't a problem before, but when running the actual initialization, it tends to fail. And never mind, that appears to have fixed it. Well, it looks like it's picked up some things. It's figured out that angle grinders exist. Oh, and there it's figured out the rest. Okay, whew. We got real lucky. I need to go through now and set up all of this. Genuinely, that's the third time I've tried that, and that's the first time it worked. Well, anyway, now you know, if you need to teach Izzy's a specific recipe, you just set up an assembler that says learn many. Let's try it out now that the script is working again, right? Let's say that I don't think Izzy understands what a plasma cannon shell is. I mean, I'm going to be real with you. I don't really understand what a plasma cannon cell is. So I'm going to queue up 100 of these. You can just shift-click, actually, rather than doing it that way. And then it should, there we go, switch to learning plasma cell 10 megajoules. Voila. That is the one. And then once it clears the queue, once it's decided it's learned it, it takes a couple of seconds, about 30 seconds on average. Boom. It clears it out. And that is how you know Izzy's now understands what a plasma cell is. So there you go. If you've got mods that the script isn't picking up, that's how you can deal with them. I am now going to go through and set up all of these amounts because 55th time's the charm. Okay, the one thing we don't have on that list, it seems, is metal grids, and that is unfortunately what we are entirely and completely out of today. I'm going to let the learn command work on it just in case it hasn't got the blueprint. I'm a little sketched nowadays. I think we're going to be doing this for everything we produce for the first time. There we go, we're now officially learning metal grids. It'll clear the queue when it's learnt it, and I want to see that on the auto-crafting LCD. Anyway, thank you for everybody who gave me some help and advice in the previous episode. I typically got a bit of a problem with backseating, but there's a big difference between backseating and helping. So thank you very, very much for the assistance. If you don't know what the difference between backseating and helping is, you're probably part of the problem. Just gonna be real with you. Alright, other things that we want to work on today. Little sort of notes and things that we need to catch up on. Number one, right at the start, right at the top of the pile, is to change the name of this glorious beast over here. The rotary airlock is very funny, but you know what is actually incredible? The lift for purpose. Thank you to the commenter who suggested this. It is genuinely actually hilarious, and this has to be what we call it. There we go. The lift for purpose is ready. The lift for purpose is also going to get some action today, because the lift for purpose is going to have this taken off, even though it is way more interesting than just doing a magnetic thingy. I'm a little tired of this thing getting blown up, so we're just going to go boring for a little bit here in order to make this thing functional again. Okay, lovely. Now we've got a magnetic plate. We can go ahead, we'll set up the commands for that, but we'll go pick up, there's a bunch of scrap lying around here that we can throw in our Sarlacc pit. Mostly a bunch of unused tardigrades. So you know what? While we talk about the rest, we can do that. And I am out of oxygen. Oh god. Oh, I'm suffocating very quickly actually here, but no, there we go. Sorted. Okay. Whew. And you know what? Before we put the last piece of the the lift for purpose puzzle together, one thing I do actually rather desperately need to do is clean up this whole situation over here. Let's be completely honest. None of this needs to be on the main terminal. I'll do that off camera. I also need to set the guns to different groups. I want them on like main guns, rail guns, auto, point defense, all guns in one group. You know, just kind of specialize that a little bit more. And I need to go into the nanobots, and I need to turn off janitor mode on all of them. Someone told me, yeah, janitor grinds not own blocks. Apparently we should turn this off, because it'll often say that the blocks placed on subgrids are set to being, like, sometimes I don't own them for some reason. It gets a bit confused. So let's just turn that off because we got grinder pits to grind stuff down. We don't need these guys to do it, right? Okay, the big reason we want to assign all of our guns to groups is so that I can go ahead and change this stuff. So I want my 100mm cannons to be shooting at thrusters. Not at weapons, not at power, not at computer components. I want them shooting at thrusters, and I kind of want them to stop shooting once things start falling down. I also definitely don't want them shooting at projectiles. They are projectiles themselves. That's more left to, like, the 30mm cannons. All of this should have been tweaked a long time ago. My mistake. I'm so sorry. And I want to turn on target subsystems on, and that's so that they will, like, specifically target thrusters. I want to shoot ships out of the sky. I don't want to destroy them if I can help it. We need to get all those good resources for ourselves. All right, let me continue setting all this up. So this is going to be our 150mm cannons, so on and such as.
4 to 6 days later.
Okay, there we go. So the basic premise here is that the big guns will target the guns, and the smaller guns will target the thrusters. That's just what they'll primarily target. It's not the only thing they'll target with Weapon Core, as I understand it. Meaning that, you know, once if a Reaver ship comes in, we'll blow out its guns and thrusters, and then it'll keep shooting it if it's within range, unfortunately. But if it isn't, then we should be fine. The only thing I need to do now still is to go ahead and put all of the guns on a single, what do you call it, a single group. All of this plus this, and this, and this. And that will be all base guns. Save. Okay. And then the dream here is I can head inside. Right? Oh, I just vented the whole base, didn't I? Yep. Okay. I can head inside. I can sit in this chair over here, for example. And I can say, oh, you know, we can go ahead and remove all of this. That's from the mining pit, which no longer exists. And we can go to groups, and we can say all base guns, on or off, off. Okay, cool. 1 is still on, 61 are off. Something was off, which should have been on. Oh well. Aha! It was 30mm autocannon 4. Okay, there we go. Now they're all synced up. So now everybody's off, everybody's on. Okay, cool. And we'll set up that command on other command chairs so that it's all, we got access to all of it real quick. Alright, so I'm going to give myself a few important additions here. Number 1 was going to be to that's going to be to fix all of the problems. Fix problems, right? And I will uncheck this once people tell me that I've done so. I'm sure there's still something else wrong with the base. I'll leave it all up to you to tell me. For now, I can't think of anything else. We fixed the nanobots grinding off pieces of the base. We fixed the Izzy's issues, and we fixed, you know, bits and pieces here and there. You know, the Tardigrades are back to work. We need to print some more Tardigrades, so let's do that. Print more Tardigrades. I'm kind of tempted to print a Super Tardi-GREAT. People did suggest using a large version of the Tardigrade in order to dig that hole, and that could be kind of fun. So print more Tardigrades, and then under that I'm going to put an optional sub-goal, which would be to design a Super Tardi-GREAT. Let me know if that's something you want to see. Or if you just kind of want to see us get back on with work, you know, because that could be kind of cool. All right, next thing we're going to want to do is build the Great Gates. These are going to, these are going to be the barrier of this crater. Someone suggested it would look really cool if we placed a huge gate in front of the entrance to this crater. Now, there's not much road traffic, admittedly, but it would look very cool. And looking very cool is a big part of being very uncool. So that's what we're really going to focus in on. Building the Great Gates isn't enough, though, because we will also require a Guardian. The Gate Guardian. I don't know when I'm going to be able to get to this, but we're going to get to it, don't you worry. Alright, there's a lot going on. I don't want to just be working towards one thing at a time, so that is, you know, important. By the way, we have also invented air conditioning. The temperature here has dropped by 9 degrees. The heat wave has ended. Turns out it was a heat wave. That wasn't particularly obvious at the start, but you know what? C'est la vie. Alright, so with all of that in mind, with so much done, we can go ahead and, you know what, I'm also going to give myself a to done plus, which is going to be that we fixed Izzy's, at the very least. Izzy's is working again. Without Izzy's, this was going to be very painful. Fix Izzy's. People did suggest using Taladin's inventory manager. I looked it up. It hasn't been updated in a couple years. There are patches for it, but it'd be quite tedious to make it work. It was possible. It would have just been quite tedious. The second thing that people suggested was to use the Nanobots auto crafting mod. Thank you for all the suggestions on that one. That's been suggested for many episodes now. I looked into it. It works fantastically. It's just I want to rather have a backlog of resources, not just the resources I want to print on demand. And not just that, but also that does not able to make ammunition for all of our various turrets and things, which is, I'm a little bit attached to them being able to shoot stuff. So, yes, that's that, I think. Is that everything? I think that's everything. Something else that a lot of people suggested in the previous episode was that we could have saved a lot of time by using merge blocks to attach the pistons back to the main grid rather than grinding them off and letting the nanobots weld them all over again. So you know what? That's the sort of thing that's worth a bit of a test, I think. And so let's go and see how the merge blocks behave with pistons over on the test world. Okay, so you guys said you wanted to see how pistons and merge blocks interact. You know what? Let's go ahead and test it. Welcome back to the test bed. We are going to be testing things on this here bed. I've got the spectator cam set up so that we can see this from afar. I'm sure we'll have an excellent view of these two mechanics interacting. So now the way this works, right, is as we move these two blocks together, the merge blocks will turn yellow as they get into proximity, and then they'll turn green once they become the same grid. Takes a couple seconds, but it almost always works, and it results in significantly more stable behavior. So let's go ahead and set these off and see what happens. So both pistons are now extending, as you can see. Do you know what? Why don't we switch to spectator cam for this one? And as they zoom in on each other and begin to turn yellow and green, oh, damn it. Oh, well, it's a really good thing we didn't use that in the main series, huh? Alright, so step one, I think before we do anything else, let's go ahead and print up some more tardigrades. We were a little bit overdue to have these lads working for us again. Okay, let's hop in here and have a look at that. That looks like it is working. I can then go ahead and turn on the welder bay, as we've seen so many times before, and I'm going to print out a few of these. That's going a little bit fast, though, isn't it? It's stuck, isn't it? Door stuck? Yeah, door stuck. Okay, that didn't quite work. New plan. We go ahead and build it up here. No game crashes, just nanobots, son. That seems to be the safer way to do things around these parts. I need some more steel, apparently. You've got steel. Don't mind if I steal it. Okay, cool. We'll just let the nanobots build that thing. Forget the welders. Welders are cursed. Welders are forbidden from this point onwards. It's too dangerous. It's simply too dangerous to be kept alive. Alright, so we need another 3 tardigrades. No, more. We have 3 tardigrades. We need 5 tardigrades. 4 tardigrades? How did numbers work? There's 8 slots. I have 3. Jimmy has 3 tardigrades and 8 slots. How many apples does he move on the moon? So good. Does every math question be like... Listen, I'm losing my mind a little bit here. I don't think the whole madness has worn off completely just yet. What were we doing? I don't know. Let's go scrap some ships or something. So now we would just put this over here. That would be our switch lock. It looks very boring without the protuberance. But you know what? Oh, for God's sake, you are kidding me. I didn't fly up high enough. Oh, this poor ship. Oh, this poor ship. It's just so abused. This poor ship. Alright, let me just sit over here till it's all put back together. There you go. See? Nothing ever happened. See? Not even a scratch. Simply fine. Oh god, but now there's some very large holes in the base defenses here. Maybe this is how we dig a hole next time. We just ram that into it a few times. That seems to be pretty effective. Again, though, we are kind of like completely and entirely out of plates, cobalt specifically. That's what the tardigrades are being printed for. We need to go get another cobalt mine going as soon as possible. Okay, just chill like that for now or something. I don't know. I'm giving up a little bit here. Alright, now if I remember correctly, there was a crashed reaver out this way somewhere. Let's just see if we can get there without being shot. Never mind, I have been lied to. There'll be something crashed on the moon we can go pick up, I'm sure. I mean, there's got to be some tardigrades lying around at the very least, right? So many of those got smacked last time we got attacked. Oh, and there's one right over there. Speak of the tardigrade, and he shall find thee. Okay, now can we get in there without smashing? I don't have a camera anymore, so that is a bit of an oversight on my part. Just don't hit the engine. This thing's incredibly robust, it turns out. Like, it's as in, you know, smashing one, cut off one leg, it has 3 more to replace it. Oh god, I missed. Oh god, this is gonna be so painful. This thing's probably full of gold as well. This is our gold miner. There's gold in them there tardigrades? Okay, cool. He's been resuscitated. Do we try and fix him, or do we put him back on life support? He's not projecting a blueprint, and his batteries are dead, so there's no fixing this lad. I think he's going in the pit. Okay, we definitely need a camera of this. Drop the tardigrade, see if it goes. I think we did it. I think we did it. Yeah, it looks like we did it. That's definitely going to blow up. It did not blow up. Okay, nice. I think it would be nice to have a camera on here, though. Farewell, sweet prince. As pink as the day you were born. Boo, boo, boo. 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 Another soldier taken too soon. Anyway, let's go get some more loot. If you're wondering why no spectator cam, it keeps blue screening whenever I try and record Space Engineers. It's a very old gaming laptop that I've been using for it, and it's beginning to show that it may not possibly be the most ideal tool for this particular job, but you know what? We're going to keep throwing it at the wall, and eventually it'll stick. So if you see a time-lapse, well, you'll know I figured it out. If you don't, well, someone please send help. I miss my family. Oh, nice. Look at this. This tardigrade is free. Go ahead and cut him loose. Where are you heading off to, King? Let's get you to stop that behavior. And I will dock you... Oh, I think we lost the black one. Right, well, we definitely lost the gold one. So let's go ahead and dock this right over there, and I'll get another one printing. It is a bit of an oversight that the blueprint has them already working. That is, yeah, I probably should update that, huh? Will I? Almost certainly not, but I probably should. And let's get the next one going. Yeah, and there goes... Yep, there goes the damn spectator cam again. Bye-bye. Is there any way I can sneak in there? I don't think so. Okay, no, we just need to rebuild the grabby arm. We could do it without the rotor and truss. We could just have, like, pistons going straight down. Maybe that's a bit safer. But is safety really what we care about here? I don't know. I don't know if it is. Oh, look, a disco ball. Nice. Hold on, isn't this... This is my... This is part of the not fit for purpose. It definitely is. Also, yes, the spectator cam simply cannot join anymore. Okay, so no more spectator cam. We're doing it all on main. There is a gyroscope on here, I think, which is trying very hard to turn. And to turn me. This is part of the fit for purpose. What the hell? Oh god, it's really fighting me. Stop turning. Stop turning. Come on. Come on, you piece. You piece of garbage. Get in there. Get in there. Drop him in the pit. Drop him in the pit. Oh, come on. Come on. Okay, just get rid of it. We'll sort it out from here. I think that actually might make it. It's totally gonna make it. Hell yeah. And yes, indeed, it made it. But somehow we blew a hole in the pit larger than the device that we dropped in. Make that make sense, Keen. Okay, so gold and black are currently available for duty. And we really need to find cobalt. And there's cobalt in the base, as we know. But I'd rather not use the cobalt in the base. I'd rather go and find some further out cobalt, I think. Alright, but you are currently working. Let's go ahead and grab you. You've had a little bit more time to charge up. Not much, but a little bit. And let's go ahead and undock. And we're going to go scout some cobalt with this lad right here. This is currently going to be our yellow miner, but we'll paint them once we get them actually active for duty, right? And I think I'd like to go this way, just because this is the direction that the conveyors face, leaving the base, that is. Nice big flat open area over here. That'd be ideal to mine from. Okay, there we go. All the tardigrades set up. Let's go ahead and follow this one on his particular journey. I think that'll be fascinating. So what is he up to? He is digging straight down towards some silver, by the look of things. Oh, very nice. Lots of stone in the way, though, unfortunately. I think that the gold and silver mines here overlap slightly at some point. In fact, this is still an original Tardigrade. You can see it's got some battle damage there with the white spots on the gray stripe. I think it's pretty cool. It shows you what they've survived. As long as the projectors don't break, these things will continue to work, because they'll be reprinted, or they'll be repaired every time they get back to base. Uh-oh. What happened to you, you stupid? You just fell out the damn sky? Right now? You were doing so well. I had a home position. I think you did a big old stupid. Okay, you, Mr. Brown, you are going to be mining cobalt for us, and I think I've already set you up correctly. Yes, I have. You just need to... Yeah, you got some damage, because some of these blocks aren't fully welded. We still need cobalt, ironically enough. You have now docked. Excellent, man. Good man, good man. I think I need to redo his path to the mining job. Because I think the other one, I think I banked to the side to decelerate because of the lack of unlimited speed, ironically enough. And then it sort of changed the maximum possible weight. You want to kind of keep these as level as possible, so we'll just fly in a bit more slowly. No rotations required. Okay, cool. He's digging. That looks pretty good to me. Very nice. And looks like he's actually going to be grabbing some resources. Ship is full. It's at 232,000 kilograms. And yes, indeed, it is completely full. Okay, cool. So that is all of our tardigrades working again. I think we still got 2 docks open, which I will be printing up shortly once I work out whatever the hell was going on with that printer arm. I still don't really understand why this ripped itself apart, but it did. It's a bit scary to like suddenly commit our boys again to this particular journey, but I mean, I guess we work with what we've got. Alright, so how far are we from complete economic collapse here? I think we've got 1 hour worth of power remaining. Okay, so things could be worse, for sure. I mean, they could be better. They could always be better, but they could also be worse. So how are we doing over here now? Looks like we printed up almost everything that we've been waiting for. We're waiting on a bit of motor. I wonder why that's waiting. I don't really know. I guess it's all the metal grids queued up in the meantime. I couldn't tell you. Okay, I think that's the sound of metal grids coming in, but there we go. We now have a red miner, which is really, really cool. This one's going to be doing platinum, and then it's just the green one left to print. And in fact, let me go and get the next tardigrade cooking before I forget to do so. And don't tell me I'm out of steel. It's an almost constant state of being at this point. Not out of steel, just out of steel blocks in my inventory. Where's that dude who's been leaving a comment on every video, like day 247 of asking Largely Unemployed to enable infinite inventory? I won't do it. You hear me? I got standards, okay? Okay? I got very little self-respect, but there's some remaining. Not much, but some. Alright, then the green one, which is the last tardigrade left, is going to have to go and mine uranium. It's not a question anymore. The base requires power, the fit for purpose will require power to run its shields. We have to have uranium. We must have uranium. POV, you are Iraq in the 90s. According to certain US politicians, anyway. Let's go ahead and set up a mining job. We're going to go down, and we're going to hope that there is platinum here. And then I'm afraid I'm going to have to take one of these lads back up into space. Or at least maybe we designed a quick ore boat to just go look. Maybe that's what the Super Tardi-Grade does. Maybe the Super Tardi-Grade goes and gets uranium? That would be kind of dope, actually. Maybe that's what we do with it. Because I kind of don't want to design any more of the pit. The pit is giving me, what's the word for it? Massive unpleasant anxiety. Just gonna let this one run. He's going to dig up some ice. Lots and lots of ice. It's fine. We need the ice to run all sorts of things. Well, I suppose what we could do, right, now that we've got the tardigrades moving again, maybe we could put down a little bit of hydrogen energy production. I don't know if the hydrogen engines we currently have are actually functional at the moment. Let's go have a look. They are on. They're producing 60 megawatts, which is pretty substantial. But they do consume quite a lot of hydrogen. And I'm going to need... I mean, I think I've got 12 tanks of storage on the base. The fit for purpose has 24 tanks, so we don't even store half of what we'll need to fill the damn thing, and it burns through fuel like you cannot believe. Like about an hour of... That'll last us maybe an hour to an hour and a half of flying around and fighting. So it's not like we've got a surplus of ice at the moment, despite the fact that we have way more than we need right now, but we don't have anywhere near enough to fulfill what we're actually trying to do later. Alright, but let's put this over here. Let's look at, let's look at printing up a... Well, hold on. I think I'll do a coin flip here. Either I've got to continue work on this, or I've got to start work on... I think we can put it over here. We can start work on a Super Tardi-Grade that will go out and mine things for us. Okay. I need to figure out which coin I'm going to be flipping. Okay, you're gonna love this. I think I found the coin I'm going to be flipping. We're going to we're gonna fly over this way. I'll just reload a save, but this is really funny if I can pull this off. I'm going to rotate the ship really, really, really quickly. If we land on the turrets, then we build the tardigrade. If we land on the bottom, then we dig out the pit. Okay, this is the plan. Turn off the engines, and we see where we land. Oh, I gotta turn off the gyroscopes too, damn it. There we go, toggle block on and off. So we're gonna get a nice spin going. We're gonna get a real nice spin going. We're gonna turn off the engines. We're gonna turn off the gyros. And we're gonna see which way we land, I guess. We're definitely slowing. Don't tell me that all of the gyroscopes are not on this. I hate this game sometimes. Why am I still slowing down? I turned them all off. Oh, well, whatever. Oh, it's because of the limited speed. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, let's try this again. Stupid unlimited limited speed mod not working. I don't know why it's not working, by the way. It's just not working. Okay, let's get some serious speed. Maximum acceleration. 17 times the charm, as is always the case with Space Engineers. And we rotate. Okay, heads or tails, people? Heads or tails? Oh, it looked like it's going to be heads. No, maybe it's tails. Maybe it's the side. Maybe it's a coin flip all over again. And oh, that was definitely heads. Definitely heads. Okay, cool. Which means we build the tardigrade. Oh, and look. Did the spectator cam actually make it on? Hold on. Nope, they're just here in theory. Okay, reload the save. So, sorry to the grinder pit, doesn't look like we'll be working with you so much today. No, instead we need to go ahead and build out this space here. I need to build a little launch platform, or rather a build platform, where I can manufacture or design my basic auto-mining tardigrade. It's going to be using ion thrusters like the other one, so that it can operate in any stellar environment. We could do it with hydrogen tanks. We do have a lot of ice. Maybe we do it with hydrogen tanks? Is that stupid? Okay, well, let's grab the industrial blocks here and just have a look at what we've got available to us. Quite a bit. Conveyor sorters, pipe caps, hydrogen tanks. Okay, fine. You twist my arm, I'll do it. I'll do it. We'll make an industrial thing. Alright, but step one, I need to build out a little printing bay. Well, not a printing bay, but like a platform for this thing to work off of, right? And let's try and make it look a bit more interesting than I would otherwise. What in the hell was that noise? What happened, buddy? It's the platinum miner. Well, rather, it was. He ran out of energy. He ran out of energy just before he docked. Damn, that's rough. They do sometimes do that. They'll just sort of like hang out right over here until they fall into the hole. Well, there goes all the ice. I guess we're printing up another tardigrade. God damn it. You know what I am going to do here? I've got all the batteries on a group already, so let's just set them to auto. And I'm going to set this thing to recharge before we fly it off. I think the problem with the red one is I signed it to work right away, and it just took so long to fly back it died. So these are currently there's no way this thing is at 63%. Oh, it's because it's trying to select all of them? That's interesting. That is a genuinely unforeseen circumstance. Yeah, it's not just this ship's batteries. It's every ship's batteries. Which is a bit of an oversight. So that's not really something I want to be playing with then. Let's remove that from the toolbar. And I'm just going to set the local ship's batteries to be auto, or to be on auto right now, or set them just recharge. Again, I really do wish there was a way to only show the blocks on this grid, like just a toggleable setting. I don't understand why that isn't in the game yet. Like, please, someone who works at Keen, could you tell me? Because I think it's unfathomably strange that it isn't on there. Okay, 13 minutes, it'll be fully recharged. Excellent. What the hell was that noise? A Reaver Havelock is on its way. Oh, that thing is on the way. Get me the binoculars. That's a big boy. Okay, let's see if our new turret settings make a difference. We want to knock this thing out the sky. Oh yeah, look at that. They're aiming at the engines. I do sense a bit of a problem, though, with this plan. And I happen to be directly in the line of fire. There we go. We're through the front, through the base shield, rather. The bottom shield. Man, we really need to build that station shield, don't we? That's definitely something to add to the list. Oh, and now the artillery can see us. Alright, well, we knocked off artillery on that one. Let's see here. Oh. I mean, we're blowing it up pretty successfully. Okay, there goes its shield. There you go. Keep the pressure on. They're doing great. Ow, my everything. My god, look at that hail of fire. Holy shit. It is turning to face me. This is a vendetta. Come on, guys. Take out the big guns, please. Thank you. There we go. It's knocking off that artillery. We do, unfortunately, still end up destroying most of it. I don't think there's really a way around that as yet. Do you think there's still a reactor in there? Do you think maybe we got lucky enough? I see a control station. Oh, that would be amazing. Got some large thrusters. That's going to have a lot of grids. It's more motors, though. Those hydrogen thrusters are actually ideal. Okay, that turret just turned itself off. Does that mean it's out of ammo? So did that one. You know what? Let's go ahead and disable the turrets real quick. Let's go do some boarding. Alright, but I mean, this isn't to take over a ship, so I don't feel too bad about using the tier 3 grinder. This is mostly just for speed. Let's get in here and see what's going on, because this thing's not it's not a threat to me anymore, right? It's just more, we've just got to get it offline. Keep an eye out for those massive cargo bays. Oh, I think we just blew up a jump drive. Oh, there's a reactor. Oh, baby. Okay, we've been through these ones before. You just knock out the batteries. Alright, quite a big victory. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is another tasty prize for us. Now, of course, we could throw this in little pieces into the Sarlacc pit, or we continue work on the big pit. As you can see, I've added a border around it, and I've added some conveyors down the middle, as well as connections going up the edges. There's a connection running around the ring. The pit is looking a lot bigger, but that is really a project for another day. This is quite a large one, and I still haven't really decided how I want to do it. The contraption that Magic and I discussed at the start of the previous episode, well, rather that we sort of hinted at, rather, was, as many of you guessed, a flipping door of sorts, with welders on one end and grinders on the other. Now, the problem with that, and there are many problems with that, first is that, of course, it has to work off of rotors, which means it's a subgrid, which means that blueprints are very difficult to make work for repairing. And that would be quite frustrating, having to go in there and manually replace blocks constantly, re-add them to groups because they get removed from groups, change all the settings again. You get the idea. It would just be really, really painful. Another problem with it, of course, was that it would have to be quite a bit smaller than the pit, so they would be able to rotate inside of it, and would have to be built about halfway. Another idea we floated was having sort of an accordion style one, right? Where rather than having a rotating door, we could have like a series of rotate, kind of like a scissor lift, I guess, like a scissor lift thing that would come out and fold flat and then fold back into the walls. It's completely doable, but the number of subgrids and stuff would grind this game to a halt, right? Because each of those joints would have to be a rotor, they would have to be pistons along the different edges, pulling them, you know, sort of back and forth. I don't know how much flexibility the blocks have before they break, so things would have to slide inside each other. It would be very, very difficult to make work. So, again, that one's cool, very engineering-y, but maybe not right for this particular simulation, given how unstable it is already. Is that ship frozen? Yep, I do believe it is. At least this one isn't, right? No, that one's moving. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot going wrong with this simulation at the moment. The next thing to consider, or rather another option we could do, is just to have a floor of grinders, kind of like the Sarlacc pit, just much bigger. That's the simplest, and it is the most likely to succeed, but it's kind of boring. So on its own, I don't think I really like it. Which brings me to maybe the idea I'm going to go with, which is what someone in the comments section suggested. They said, you know, when I said Sarlacc, they were picturing like tentacles coming out of the thing and pulling ships in. That might be a little bit too difficult to do, but what we could do is have kind of pusher arms that are embedded into this panel here, and we'll build a panel on that side to do the same thing, that kind of fold out from there and then like come over the top and push stuff down into the pit. We could also put some retracting hangar doors on top that could seal off and close it. We'd have to get modded ones. The base game ones are too small. But that could all work. That's all completely doable. So let me know in the comments how you would go about designing a massive grinder pit. And remember, the most important thing here is that it has to be, and I mean it has to be, repeatable and repairable. Okay, that is the biggest thing, because it's going to get damaged. That is just not something we can avoid, I'm afraid. So what do we want out of our Super Tardi-GREAT? That's the real question here, right? I mean, we need it to be able to move a huge amount of ore, space and back, dock and move. I think honestly thrusters, hydrogen thrusters really are just the best way. So what we're going to do now is spend a bit of money to make a bit of money. I'm going to put some heavy armor blocks around the rim of this here crater. I do eventually want this to be protected by heavy armor blocks. So I'm just trying to work out what my angle would be. Yep, and the spectator cab is still not quite managing to make it in, unfortunately. Would I do it like this? So still no spectator cab. I will try and get that working in between episodes. I don't know what's the problem. I might have to like reinstall Windows, which is a bit daunting on the spectator PC. It's just, I mean, it's not hard to do. It's just a pain, really. So we could like take this up to full-size block, or we could just go down with some half-size heavy blocks. The point of this being that when we drop stuff in here, we don't want it to break, right? And I think we do the half-size blocks for the simple reason that they take up slightly less space inside here. We'll start it with something like that. I think that's probably going to be, yeah, and we'll build a wall of half blocks with some probably light armor behind it, which isn't ideal. I mean, you don't really usually want to mix the two, but we're working with what we've got here, and what we've got is very little. Okay, whew, that took a while, but there we go. We now have a platform. Wow, crazy how nature do that, huh? That just took so unbelievably long. I've now got to find out how I'm going to be getting this to fit in here. Oh, it turns out exactly like that. Wow, that was truly one of nature's greatest mysteries right over there. We actually have metal grids, which means that the cobalt miners are beginning to reap fruit. This is good. This is very good. Okie day. Now we gotta run connectors over this way, but we do actually have a connector right through here. So let's use these ones, I think. Okay, there we go. We now have conveyor access up top, and this should be a turny boy. I literally just said that. Maybe it should be an attorney boy. Haha. Then he'd get it. Ahahaha. Ahahaha. I'm losing my mind again. It's this damn pit, dude. I'm within pit proximity, and my mind is beginning to wander. I'm just saying, I don't think it's just me. Very nice, very nice. And then what we'll do is we'll build another refueling tower, just like we did for this guy. But now, unlike the Sky Crane, I haven't designed this ship off camera, and I'm not bringing it in here ready to go. This is going to be built up together right about now. Unlike the Sky Crane, though, I think I'm going to make this one a little bit taller, because the design I have in mind is it's actually going to be a like lateral miner, not a vertical miner, because we don't have to deal with gravity, right? So we can get away with some more interesting shapes, I think. And it would be incredibly useful to have a few more of these out here, so I think we'll just do what we did with the other one and just put a couple on the base. Just like this. And then, just because we've got the space, why not? Slap down an O2 generator here. I'd love to see modules for the O2 generator, speed modules specifically. That would be pretty nifty, I think. And because this is going to be our uranium miner, I kind of want to do a bit of a green paint job on this one for a change. Something we haven't seen just yet, right? I think that'll be cool. Alright, but we don't have to do all of the base side design in this one just yet. I think, in fact, if anything, we kind of want to do as little of it as possible so we can fit more of the good stuff in here. That being said, though, listen, there's a small temptation to just put a couple of these on here. God, I just love the shape of these blocks. I just think they look so good. Alright, cool. So that's going to be the tower that this whole thing docks to. I built it early so that these can start refilling. God knows they are going to need to. Yeah, stockpile up. Alright, well that's going to drain from other tanks, which isn't really what we needed to do. We just wanted to fill organically. Let's have a look at our hydrogen tanks. How full are they? This one is currently all the way up to 0%. That one's at a comfortable, oh, you guessed it, 0%. How about the industrial one? Oh, look at that. It's declining, in fact, approaching 0%. And I do believe that that is the hydrogen engines running because we don't have any goddamn uranium. So yes, uranium is on the horizon. We got uranium fever. And how am I going to design a big ship without it all falling apart? I could just design it in creative with you guys and then print it here. But I think some people want to see me do another design in person, like we did with the Remora, right? So let's do that. Let's go ahead and grab a landing gear. Man, I really do prefer designing in creative, but at the same time, I don't know what my plan was here. I don't have anything to print. Does look a bit like a nipple, doesn't it? Okay, we'll build it over the pit. So I'm sort of just going to move over to the side here. This is roughly the size and shape I want this thing to be. I'm not actually building it per se just yet. You'll see how I go about doing these. So I know I want to connect on the bottom. Rather, I need a connector on the bottom, right? That connector needs to connect to hydrogen tanks, it needs to connect to drills, and it needs to connect to storage modules. It doesn't necessarily have to be in that order, but those are all the things that we need to have on here. So if I were to look here, and I were to say, hey, you know what? This would probably connect to something like that, maybe? Or probably facing the other way, actually. I'm perhaps greebling a bit ahead of time here. It'd be more like that. Yeah, it would definitely be more like that. And then you... Oh god, my kingdom for a time-lapse right now. And then you would be like this, like this. And then obviously that big block will have to change. Okay, we could do something like that. Or it could be a longer one running along it. I don't know. I don't know. Listen, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I think what I'm going to do is design this in stages and bring you guys back and explain what I'm doing. Otherwise, Magic's going to get a 7-hour recording he's going to have to sift through, which is not fair on the poor guy. Okay, we definitely want industrial cargo everything, right? So give me an industrial cargo container here. That's going to store the ore. An industrial cargo container here. It's going to store, you guessed it, the ore. And then I think we cap it with another... You know what? Give me 2 of them on this side. We'll have it... It's not going to be asymmetrical. It has to be symmetrical because it's an auto miner, but it doesn't have to be, you know, ridiculous. Then give me those hydrogen tanks again. I think we'll have one capped off over here. Maybe something like... How do these fit on the side? Do they look okay or do they look stupid? I think they're going to look stupid because of that wide base. Yeah, unfortunate. How do these match up on this side at least? Or does it also look a bit stupid? It sticks out a little bit, but not as much, right? Not as terribly. Like, I mean, maybe that's the way? I think that might be the way, unfortunately. So, give me a couple more of these then. One over there and one over there. Okay, those are our hydrogen tanks. What are we putting in betwixt them? We need, like, stuff. Stuff that does things. Great description, as always, largely. We need to go... Oh, God, hold on. It's going to be something like this, like that. Maybe even one of these. You can tell I haven't had to describe what I'm doing in a outside of a time lapse in a while. Yeah. That works, and then we can put like stuff behind them. You know, I really want to keep this thing as basic as possible because it needs to be printable and cheap. That's the idea. Well, you know, cheap for a large grid miner. Give me the gyroscopes. We're gonna need a hell of a lot of gyroscopes. That much I am sure of. This thing's gonna be stupidly heavy. Put it to the back of the tank. I feel like they're less likely to cook off. Batteries. We'll need a lot of batteries. Give me a warfare battery. That sounds cool. Ooh, they look awesome. Reaver Invader. Look me in the eyes right now. Okay, listen. You and I were going to have a little chat. If you come anywhere near this ship right now, I will swat you out of the sky, and you will never, ever see your weird little Reaver family again. None of you, you're not going to be able to screaming into the mine together, none of it. None of it, you hear me? You so much as look at my ships the wrong way. Regrettably, he does appear to be looking at my ships the wrong way. Okay, we're definitely going to need some O2 generators on here, so this thing can refuel itself, if it comes to it. So have one there. Oh man, we might just do 6. One there, one there, one there. One there, one there, one there. That's how it be. And then we'll need some hydrogen generators as well. Hydrogen engines. These guys over here. Because they can just connect off the sides. That. And like this. This is 10 megawatts. That should be enough for a mining ship. Yeah, because then this can just be... I'd actually like to get some reactors on this. Just small ones. So that we have that availability to us. That way we can put shields on here. Even if they don't... do, you know, too much. It'll just... I just want to stop bullets just sort of pinging it out of nowhere, you know? Alright, that's looking pretty good so far. Alright, what else does a flying ship like this need? We need thrusters, obviously. That's pretty critical. We'll need a cockpit of some kind, as basic as possible. It's going to need a remote control, because it is going to be a... This is going to be a auto ship, like the Tardigrades, just different. Okay, remote control is a 100% must-have necessity. That can go... I'd love to have it over there, rather, to be completely honest with you. Can we put some of this? I think we can put some of that. And then give me a conveyor. There we go. Okay, what else do I want on my essential stuff? I'm going to want some programmable blocks. Always useful to have one of those on these sort of ships. We can put that right over there. I'm also going to want to have a projector. Always useful on these kinds of ships. What the hell are you? Automaton programmable block. Oh yeah, I need to explore that a little bit. Those are in the mod pack, but they're not really used. Guess we start working on the drills? Yeah, the cockpit will be behind the drills. That's just how it's going to have to be, unfortunately. So, give me a couple of conveyor junctions. I'm building them like this because I'm going to want engines on the sides, right? And like behind. And then give me drills. Just give me all the drills you've ever drilled. How do I want to do this? I think I want drills like that. And I think I want them to come out in kind of like an inverse wedge. So give me this again. Give me those reinforced curved conveyor tubes. Gotta be something like that, right? Yeah. I have no idea if this is going to work, but it is going to look a lot more interesting than just having a wall of these things. I think one more. I think we need to go one more out. Okay. Good start. Definitely going to need a bridge of armor over here to keep this thing all intact, so we're not just hinging on those. And then, you know what? Give me a hell of a lot of gyroscopes. And I do mean a hell of a lot. Okay, cool. So now we have a lot of gyroscopes, and we've got points to put our thrusters out. Let's start thrusting. So the way we're going to do reverse thrust, I think, is actually going to be back here. Our thrusters are going to be behind the drills, as they need to be. This needs to go out one more further, just because of the sheer size of these boys here. Let's see. Show me those thrusters again. Do they fit nicely onto here? No. Why would they? That'd be asking too much, huh? What if we flip you around? It's going to look a bit silly, I think, but maybe it works. Alright, give me the regular hydrogen tank first, right? Just the boring old vanilla one. Right over there. Alright, and the reason for that is just because I'm not sure how else I'm going to fiddle this. Then give me the other hydrogen tanks. I'm putting them at the back for a reason. It's so that if they blow off, then they don't take the rest of the ship with them. Maybe we can salvage it, right? If you spread them out, then the damage will be spread out. This way, we'll just lose engines. Okay, now with it reversed, maybe this looks a bit better. Maybe this makes a bit more sense. Maybe that goes there. Maybe that goes there. Okay, there's our two large engines. Oh man, I love the way those combine. Oh, that's definitely intentional. Oh, that looks so cool. Oh, that looks so cool. Okay, this has got to be a cargo container then. I don't make the rules. Or not. Or not. Or we could do a thruster cluster. Ooh, that's fun to say. We could do a thruster cluster back here. Or like up-down motion. Maybe that's the play. Maybe we do something like... this, right? And we do something like... This will have to go up a block. Trying to make sure I stay inside the shape of those drills. That's the real kicker here. We got to be within the scrape path, as it were. And I think it's about as far down as I dare go. So, we've got up, down. We need left, right, which would probably be best done over here. But of course, we also need some downwards thrust, not just this, but like a lot more, so that we can survive re-entry when we come back to land. And I think we're going to have to do that with small thrusters, unfortunately. Unless, perhaps... Could we fit a small one in here? Or a large one in here, rather. How tall are you? Are you taller than the normal thruster? I think you are. Yeah, you're way... Yeah, this is way more manageable. Okay. So I can put that there. Right, and... there. And that would handle the landing thrust. We got a bit of thrust at the back, so we've still got, it still looks good. Okay, that's going to be that's sort of handling it coming back in. Then we need some stuff to push down, which those will handle. We can put a bit more over here, and then we just need the strafing. Again, I really want to keep this thing as simple as possible if I can help it. And we really don't want to go too much wider than we need to. So I imagine something like this would be ideal. Although, hold on, if we just do this, if I just cheap out, if I just be a bit more basic and do that, we can get 4 of them. Yeah, look, I know it's not as good for lag, but whatever. Just because I think a bit of strafing thrust might be very, very handy on a ship like this, you know? Okay, then I think we pop this open. Oh, shit. What have I just done? Oh, no. Oh, nar. Okay, we got to get some ice in there right now. That thing's going to have to fly itself. All we've got to do is give it enough juice so that we can build the connector, right, that goes in here. Can I place it now? No, of course not. That'd be too easy. Oh, I need an interior plate. Okay, maybe I can place it now. If we can build the connector that goes in there, we can dock it to this. And then maybe we're okay. And before anyone tells me to build a goddamn merge block, please, just let me play the game. The merge block hater has logged on. Uh-oh. Oh, no. How did that blow that up? And also, why? Ooh, we don't have any reverse thrust. Ooh, oopsie. Oh my god. Oh my god. Insane idea. Insane idea. I need ice? Well, look what I've got right here. Ow. Just don't blow up. Just go very slowly. Don't blow up. I'm beginning to see a bit of a problem with my design. Is that most of the drills don't do anything. Okay. Well, that's only true for now while I'm doing this little scraping thing. Now, I think we've actually got enough fuel running that maybe we can hover. Okay, we can hover. And where there's hover, there's hope. We'll redo the greebling later. I might probably just do it off camera. Give me the connector. It is going to be... Oh, I know it exists. I know it exists. I know it exists. It's one of these. It's one. Listen, there's a lot of time pressure for me to not be seeing this. There we go. That goes there. And then simply elementary, my dear Watson. This goes here. Simple matter of placing this down in the correct position. And there we go. There we go. All right. So then I could... Oh god, it's so tight to park it here. Oh shit. Oh god, it's this again. It's this again. We don't have reverse thrust. This all over again. Okay, I need to add some temporary reverse thrust or we are in big trouble. This might not even be all that temporary now that I think about it. Give me this. Just gonna build it while we fly towards the connector. It's so scuffed. Okay, bang. There we go. Alright. We now have the ability to not die. Okay. Docked. That was a little bit tense. Alright. Snap back to reality and unfortunately a bit of a time skip. I thought I had the time-lapse working. I did not. This is the Leapfrog. Look at it. It's gorgeous. I'm going to give you a full tour in a second, but man, it genuinely kind of turned out pretty fine. It is designed to be an unarmed, long-range, large-volume hauling transport, basically. Rather than going for some like sort of super freighter, I decided to instead go for the more sort of maneuverable and speedy approach. Now, unfortunately, we do not have the unlimited speed mod working, as we discussed previously, but you know what? It is what it is, right? This is the Leapfrog, and it's going to leap us to glory. So let's do a quick tour. We have a industrial cockpit up front. This has a bunch of stuff connected to it. In fact, let's go ahead and fly ourselves up north. There aren't really many things to control on this ship. It does have shields, as you can see. There we go, we'll put them on, in fact. But it has no defenses whatsoever. This thing is not meant to fight. It is meant to escape as quickly as possible, and for that we have some pretty massive thrusters on either end. And of course, you know, when it's fully loaded, it might struggle a little bit to move, so just something to be aware of. It's always good to build some flaws into your designs, makes them more interesting. So let's go around and see what we've got. It's called the Leapfrog because, well, if you look at it from the top, I think it looks a little bit like a frog leaping. So there's the name. Let me get a better shot in the sunlight here. Hold on, give me a second. Look at that. Doesn't it just look like a little guy jumping? Like there's a little legs jumping forward? I don't know. I see it. Anyway, over here, it's all light armor. Nothing too fancy. Exposed shields. We've got plenty, and I do mean plenty, of thrust on the spines and sides to really help this thing move around. Large thrusters in the back and front, and some pretty large ones with some smaller ones in support on the base. It's got a single connector point, which is what's designed to dock to that tower we built earlier on the base. And of course, it's got a really cool paint color. I like this sort of green with the green lighting, sort of gives it like a jungle vibe. That's what I was going for. But that's not really the interesting part of the ship. What's interesting is when you get inside. I'm actually going to have to fly because we're still in gravity here. If we fly on inside, it's got a set up blueprint projector, it's got a secondary bridge, which still needs its control set up. There's your shield controller down there, and what I think is the most cool, by far, is this thing over here. If I go ahead and fly inside the teleporter, right, look at this, I've set it to travel us to home base, teleport. Hey, there we go. Okay, cool. And that's just like that. There we go. Now we can zoot between our ships. How cool is that? I think that's really, really awesome. So the core of the ship is exactly what we designed before the time-lapse failed. It's just missing the drills, and instead it's no longer going to be a drill ship. It's going to be a mid to long range transport. The idea, of course, behind it being that we... Actually, let's set this up as a leapfrog. The idea behind it being that we kind of want to simplify our logistics as much as possible. And the easiest way to do that is to, you know, modularize them. So we want, this ship is going to transport goods to and from a mining base that we set up on an asteroid. Just a little incognito one, nothing fancy. And that way we can, you know, expand that into a logistics hub should we need other resources from space. But the moon's got pretty much everything we need. The Tardigrades do a fairly decent job. They're not perfect, but they're not terrible. The only thing that this ship is missing before I can blueprint and put this on the workshop for you all to enjoy is an ore detector. A bit of an oversight on my part, actually, because the whole point of this damn thing is to, well, you know, go out there and detect ores. And then it's designed to set up a sort of middle manufacturing base as well. It does not have nanobots built in at the moment. That is, it's an intentional exclusion. And I wanted to keep the mods used on this thing as limited as possible. Obviously, the teleporter doesn't need to be there, and neither do the shields. But I'm including them, and I will set them as dependencies. You don't have to install them. You can just download it without those, and then, well, you know, they just won't be there when you paste the blueprint. Okay, where are we going to put an ore detector, though? Yeah, there's the ore detector in. Okay, there we go. Now the Leapfrog is ready and set up. This will be on the Steam Workshop. It'll be added to the mod list, as with all the other ships we've built together. And, well, unfortunately, this one wasn't built together so much, as it was kind of snapped into existence Thanos style. But we're going to dock here for a moment. We are going to very briefly grab all of the goodies. There we go. Let's go ahead and set those to stockpile. Turn off the stockpile and start flying. Okay, so the plan now is to take this up into the sky and find some damn uranium. Actually, that's not the plan. I'm talking nonsense, because we're going to dock this bad boy, and we're going to be doing that next time, because I am completely and entirely out of time for tonight. I don't know what my plan was there. I am already an hour and a half late to meet Magic at the climbing gym. So thank you all so much for hanging out tonight. I had a whole bunch of fun playing some Space Engineers, and I hope to see you in the next one. We got the Leapfrog is named the Leapfrog. This one's for me, okay? I love this little guy. His name's the Leapfrog, okay? But we do have 5 Tardigrades to name. So if you would like to drop another Tardigrade name suggestion in the comments, you already know where to find me. Thank you all so much for being here, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye. You made it to the end of the video. Congratulations and thank you. That puts you in the top 3% of viewers. Here's another video that YouTube thinks you're going to like, and here is a list of all the patron and channel member names. If you don't see yours on there, you can find a link down in the description where you can sign up and support this content directly. If your name is on there, well, you probably already know that, huh? So, what are you still doing here?